Better Sports. We here. Week 1 was amazing. Week 1 was amazing. I appreciate all the love. The journey is gonna be amazing, like I said. It's gonna be amazing. I'm gonna keep coming to you guys with great energy, great content, more stuff. But I told you guys this week, we're getting straight into, and we're gonna get into the segments. So the 3 segments I have today. First one is called Call It. I need you guys to call in, call it how it is. Whatever you want to talk about, whatever you want to talk about. Whatever you may want to talk about. The other segment is stop the BS. Stop. We call out all BS in sports, from NFL, MLB, college football, NBA, anything you want. Anything you want. We call it all out. We're not doing BS. We're only doing high IQ sports. That's all we're doing. It's nothing more but to do it. That's all it is. I'm telling you guys. And as far as the third segment is going to be Bettorsports. And we're going to switch up the way that's spelled and add the E instead of the O. We just need Bettorsports. Because those are going to be the bad beats of the week. Bad beats, for you guys that don't know, bad beats are going to be the worst bets of the week in the way that they played out. Horrible, horrific. For some of the weeks. But what we're going to do, we're going to get into it. You see my Giants apparel this week. So tonight, as we're recording, Thursday Night Football, Giants have a big game versus the Cowboys. Cowboys got a big game versus the Giants. Whoever you're a fan of, however you want to look at it, it's a big one tonight. We got a huge one. I'm going to come out right now, give my prediction before we start into the segment 1, right? First things first, I have the Giants game going under tonight. That's the main pick. You guys will see this tomorrow morning. You guys tell me how I did. Under 45.5, under 45, for depending on who you got it. Guys got it. I will buy it up to 51. Go under on that. The Giants tonight will hold Dak Prescott under 1.5 passing TDs. Maybe throw one TD. It's a rainy game, and they will pull off a big upset. I have Giants 21-17 today. I don't know why I see that score. I don't know why 21 or 2017 keeps popping in my head. Excuse me. Keeps popping in my head. But that's the score I have for the night, guys. And so be it. We're going to go get into segment 1, which is Call It. And what pretty much what we're going to do is, guys, I'm going to call someone of the week. One of you guys that asked me to come up, say, yeah, you got something to get off your check. And I want you guys to call it how it is. And so this week, the first person that we're going to do this segment with is my brother Zay. And he has something he want to call it how it is on. So we're going to give him the opportunity and the chance and the floor to call it how it is. And every week we're going to do nothing but the same. Here we go. Let's see what Zay doing. Talk to me, Zay. We on a Better Score podcast. I want you to call it how it is. Okay. Okay, it's only 17.
17.
Yeah.
18 weeks, 17 games.
Mm-hmm.
If you start a season all of 4, 1 and 3, I think you should get. I think you got a month to realize where you should go forward with the direction of your team and the future of your team, because the whole point is to win the championship.
And at the month, that's just for the other fans out there. For the month, that's about 4 or 5 games, right?
Yeah, 4 to 5 games. 4 to 5 games. You don't know the process. You don't know the stature of your team. Injuries occur every week. We're in practice. We're in camp. We're on the field. So you don't see who's really there. You gotta know the depth of your team. So if you don't, the whole point is to win every Sunday. Anybody can be beat.
Yes.
If you don't win games, or you're not winning games early to start the season, there's no reason to win games in the latter half, because you know you're going to get a top pick, which you can use for trade bait.
Okay.
The better the team, because a lot of prospects nowadays are really good, and teams are trading up and sending new calls for them, as you can see with the Panthers and Bears trade with Caleb Williams, the future Caleb Williams, and shit. So you have a better chance at becoming a better team if you literally just call the season early, in my opinion.
Okay. So I have a question for you. Who do you think right now is the best team to be in the best situation to tank right now, or have the best opportunity to tank and maybe should take advantage of it?
The best team right now that should tank, but I'm shocked everybody is the Cincinnati Bengals.
Okay.
You should tank. You should tank. While you're 0-3, you're more than likely probably not going to make the playoffs because you play in the toughest division in football. And you need help in the secondary. Travis Hunter is an elite cornerback. You need secondary help. You might as well just tank because you already got a wide receiver. You got your Montes. You don't have to rush and pay him. He's still on his rookie contract. If he doesn't show up, he'll be fine. So you know he's going to show up.
And they have him for at least another year.
You got him for another year. You go get Travis. And Chase doesn't take the contract after the year. You can let him up and swap Travis right there to be in the wide receiver one. And you got Joe Burrow locked up, the line locked up pretty much. And there you go.
I like it.
It's different ways you can go about taking. It's different ways and different options. But some teams should open the door. And I'm down for taking because you here for success. And if it's gonna work, if it's working, why not? If it's not working, why not try something else?
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Zay, for calling how it is. I love the energy, my brother.
No problem.
Cotton. All right. So that was the first call, and I need you guys to keep calling in for calling it. And I really need you guys to make sure you tapping in. I don't care what sport it is. I don't care what you guys want to come in here and talk about. Just make sure it's high IQ. Make sure you're passionate about it. I'm going to give you guys the floor 2 to 3 minutes, and you guys can talk about whatever you want, however you want, man, as long as it's sports related, and we'll get into it. Now, furthermore, on Zay's calling how it is topic, right? Because this is how I'm going to do. I'm going to give you guys the floor to talk, and then I'm going to jump in it. I'm not such a fan of taking, and I'm going to give you the exact reason why. Because like Zay said, that throughout the first month of the season, you've already been through training camp, you've already been through the first couple games. But before that, remember, this is professional sports. Our jobs are, as front office, is to make sure that we understand the outlook of our team, have a plan. Everything is planned. Everything is planned. So, with that being said, there's no tanking to me as a losing mindset. Because if, for example, the Bengals already knew before coming into this year that they barely made the playoffs last year, if made the playoffs. And as well, matter of fact, they did make the playoffs, excuse me. But they barely made the playoffs last year. Struggled last year. They already had contract issues coming into this year. So a lot of their problems were already problems. The offensive line has been a problem since Joe Burrow got here, and they spent $100 million on the O-line. Now, my thinking is teams don't have to tank because usually they're that bad anyways. If you're trying to find a way to lose games, you might not be that bad. If the Bengals start tanking and they offensively can put themselves in games, you're moving backwards. Because one, a lot of players on the team, as a former football player, no, I did not play at the NFL level, the professional level. I played up to semi-pro. But as a former football player or a former athlete, I can't go into the game and keep losing and knowing I'm going out next week, keep losing, and you want me to give effort. Because I'm going out there every week to win. So that's a losing mindset to me. Because that's not the mindset I have. My mindset is to go out there and compete 100% as hard as we can. Because if we are as bad as you guys say we are, then next year when the draft comes up, we should be in the top 5 to 6 to number 1 picks. You should be in that conversation if you're as bad as you was trying to tank. If not, you should be trying your hardest to evaluate every position you have and go from there. Every position you have, you can go from there because you were exactly seeing 100% what you could get out of each position. 100%. Now, next segment. And I like how it is because to be honest, Zay came in talking his talk, and that's what I want from you guys. But next segment we're gonna do is stop the BS. Now I need y'all to make sure that when y'all watching this, y'all saying stop the BS with me. Feel me? Because we're not here for it. And the first thing on Stop the BS is going to be, and as we get into this next week, it's going to be Chiefs and Refs. I'm not sure if you guys were ready for me to say Chiefs and Ravens, but Chiefs and Refs. So since they into last year, Patrick Mahomes has had 16 picks called back by defensive pass interference or another penalty. Now, I've been in love with the way Patrick Mahomes and this offense has brought a different, has ushered in the next era of quarterbacks, mobile quarterbacks that also have an arm that's getting praised and getting noticed. Because I believe a lot of our mobile quarterbacks, and we'll talk about this another day, but a lot of our quarterbacks, and specifically black quarterbacks, have been able to throw and have been able to run for a while. They just haven't been given the opportunity. But that's a conversation for another day. For today, Patrick Mahomes and company's road to 3P has been amazing. But if you're adding in little stuff like this, that's not a little penalty. That's not a little, that's not a, that's not a little penalty. Those are big penalties. Those are not little things. Those are not little penalties. Those are big things. Those penalties are taken away, and some of these games are tight games. On the other side, on the defensive side, Steve Spagnuolo's defense has stepped up a lot of times. A lot of times Steve Spagnuolo's defense has stepped up. And truthfully, they've gotten bailed out a lot more recently in these early season games. You've seen already the Ravens game kind of be decided by Isaiah Lakely's foot, but there was a few missed calls there that they were calling on the Ravens that seemed like they were trying to set a point. The obvious pass interference by Nick Bolton on Kyle Pitts in the end zone late in the Falcons and Chiefs game last week on Sunday Night Football. Like, it's some of these flags that are huge that do kind of decide the season. You guys got to think about that. Some of these 1 or 2 games, 3 games, and not that the division has been that case, but it may eventually be or can be this year. Yeah, decide the division. And those games do come into effect. Every game matters. Like Zay said in the last segment, it's any given Sunday. A team can be beat any Sunday. So if you're kind of not giving the team win but helping them, as much as I love Patrick Mahomes again, it's a slight disadvantage. And I know for other teams that already feel like they're at a talented disadvantage, they feel like, what can we do? But to be honest, we need to balance the playing field with the refereeing. The talent level we can't help teams with, but the refereeing we definitely can. You have to call it on both sides. So ref, do me a favor. Stop the BS. That's how we're going to call it. That's how we're going to call it. That's how we're going to do all of it. Make sure you, like I said, you guys, make sure you saying it with me. Next, Mel Kiper. Not only are you horrible at draft analysis, you continue to be wrong. Continue, and ESPN is force-feeding us this low IQ stuff. And us that actually watch football, play football, have been calling you out for years. Several years. I watched Louis Riddick call you out for several years. I've watched Dan start calling you out consistently. It's bad. Not no cover. Don't say cover 2. You really want the safeties playing by my chance. Because you said that you want the ball to be thrown 60 yards or 70 yards. That, like Patrick Mahomes and company, is not already doing. They're already doing so. Anthony Richardson in Indianapolis can throw the ball 80 yards. And we watched him do it week 1. Hit one throw, miss one throw. To say that cover 2 needs to be banned because you're watching the quarterback not be able to actively pick apart a defense. Cover 2 is one of the easiest defenses to read in the NFL. The middle is open. Everybody from Pee Wee know that. The middle is open. You can't be more serious, and this is what happens when you let people go on TV and say anything and get comfortable saying anything, because he's comfortable saying anything now. To come out on national TV and say that they should ban cover 2 where he has to depict from 2 safeties. He sees the 2 safeties, and both of those safeties are stars. Usually, like, come on, stop. Ban cover 2, the middle is open, and then he throws it to the middle and throws a pick. You're telling me that the safeties are playing so far. Where do you want them to play? Next to the linebacker? So they could just throw it right over their heads? We got to stop. We're making the refs are calling unfortunate calls to benefit the offense. The rules are benefiting the offense. And then you want them to, as well as adjust certain rules to benefit the offense more and stop them from running cover 2? This is not backyard football or nothing like that. We got to use our heads here. These quarterbacks are amazing and as good as ever. We got to stop with that. That doesn't make any sense. So Mel Kiper, cut the bullshit. I'm going to come out and say it like that. Cut it. Stop the BS. Let's not do that. That's ignorant. And ignorant in definition of not knowing, because you've never put on pads, and so in the way that you analyze the game, you may not know the game. That's the point where I'm getting with mine. Everybody else beating around the bush with you. I'm not. Next on Stop the BS is the people that was yelling last week, and I've seen a few people in my comment section. If the Ravens lose this game, your AFC North predictions are done. If the Ravens lost to the Cowboys at 0-3, they were done. Guys, come on. I understand we fans, sometimes we got to make sure, especially when you come under my page and all this stuff, that you talking real talk. They got 14 games left. The first 3, if I'm not mistaken, 2 of them were playoff teams. They dropped a huge one to the Raiders. They have played no divisional games yet. Not only that, the division is not fully world beaters like we thought they was. We already have 2 teams that may, looking like the Bengals and Browns, that may not make the playoffs. The number 1 team is the Steelers. Who's beatable? Let's be real. They're beatable. Their season being done is comical. Again, we're talking high IQ sports. Let's not do that. Their season being done at 0-3 when they played 3 of the hardest schedules, 3 of the 4 hardest games that they have already that they have scheduled, period. 3 of their 3 of their 17 games where they have 14 left. Their season is far from done, especially when you have the reigning MVP, 2-time MVP, the only 2-time MVP under 25 other than Patrick Mahomes. And then we're going to tap in real quickly, right? And I want to tap in quickly, but not real quickly. I want to really get into it. Bettorsports. This is the Bettorsports segment where we start talking about bad beats. And I want you guys to get into it because you guys can help me with this section to segment 2. You guys can send me stuff that you think is the worst beats of the week. Whether it's live, anything. You can record it live, send it to me. I love that. You can send me it from another page. Don't mind that either. Love that too. I love the communication. Long story short. So you guys can definitely interact with me. Send me anything that you think should be up on bad beats. But this week, I decided all that myself for the first segment. And I think I got some pretty good ones. First one, Kansas plus 1.5. Kansas bettors out there praying for you because this was nasty. Up 14, up 14 in the fourth. Up 14 with 4 minutes and 34 seconds left, and you have the ball. After not allowing no points for the first handful of minutes in the fourth already. And you have the ball. Remember I said that. They find a way to lose in overtime. Lose in regulation by giving up 15 points in the last 4 minutes. Tough for the 1.5 bettors. When they were up 14, they pretty much assumed they were good. They were good. Nobody cashing nothing. Now we're good here. Let's just wait 15 minutes and money should be there. Tough night. I've been there before. Tough night. Scrappy night. Scrappy night. Scrappy night. Next on the list, right? Next on the list is going to be Seahawks and Dolphins over 21.5 bettors. At the end of the first quarter, after the Dolphins have a broken play, and DK finds himself open for an opening touchdown. Zach goes ahead and runs him in a touchdown. The Seahawks find themselves up 17-3 by the end of the first. They go the rest of that half without scoring. Multiple stops by both defenses and possible field goal range. And they don't score not 1 point that second quarter. That's a heartbreaker for me. That's a heartbreak for me. That hurts. If you're thinking you're going into a whole nother quarter, pretty much, especially in professional football, I just need a field goal. In 15 minutes of gameplay, not even real life play, in 15 minutes of gameplay, I think I'll be good. That hurts. That's a big one too. Now, the big boy of the weekend, Colorado Dion and Shador Sanders and company with 2 seconds left, down versus Baylor, at home, throws a Hail Mary, completes it from the 50. That boy NFL ready. That boy NFL ready. Now, they not done yet, though. They go to overtime and win it. Like, how rude could that be? That's rude. That's rude. That's my bad beats of the week. That's Bettorsports. We need Bettorsports from Kansas. We need Bettorsports from Seahawks and Dolphins. And we need Bettorsports from Baylor Bears. We need Bettorsports, period, fellas. Bettorsports. This week, usually we're going to wrap it up with the segments, but this week, we got MLB playoffs starting by the time next episode comes out. I wanted to give you guys a few more surprise, disappointing teams throughout the regular season and some teams to watch out for as we get into the playoffs before we end this episode. Now, my most surprising team from the NL. My most surprising team from the NL was the Padres. Now, I know some people are looking to see the Mets, but for the Padres who already were dealing with a Tatis suspension or a Tatis injury, I believe, they were 50-50 at one point through 100 games. They found themselves 97 and 51. That's insane. That's insane. I mean, they went on like a 40-6 streak the next about 50 games. That's tough. That's tough. That's one of my most surprising teams, and that's one of my most dangerous teams, if not the most dangerous team going into MLB. I mean, going into October. Then you also have on the AL the Royals. Now, I'm gonna say the Royals is my sleeper team, and also, as you see what's going on with the AL and NL as we head into the playoffs, the most dangerous team, because for the rest of the teams in the division and the conference, they don't 100% have a great pitching staff. Yankees have Callll and Gale, who both have looked questionable throughout different periods of the year, and everybody else in that lineup is questionable or injured. Same thing goes for the Dodgers on the Padres side. Both lineups are stacked. Pitching is questionable. You go with the Royals. The Royals may have the best pitching staff in all of the playoffs. The Orioles are just too slow. Are too young. They're too young. They look like the moment is too big for a lot of second-year bats, and you guys are gonna have to find a way to step up. But that pitching is just not there enough. Kyle Bradish came back, got hurt. Corbin Burns hasn't fully played up to what you were hoping in big games. And we'll see what he does in the playoffs for Baltimore. But they're going to need a lot of players to step up big. And they continue to keep slumping. People have been waiting for it to stop throughout the whole playoffs. And continues to keep slumping. But for me, honestly, the most heartbreaking team has been the Braves. They may find themselves still making the playoffs. They may still find themselves in the playoffs or in the wild card. To be honest, I think the Mets are going to take care of that. But the injuries to Acuna, Riley, in between the season, Osby gets hurt. Like, Ozuna gets hurt. You have pitchers get hurt. Spencer Strider to start the season. Like, heartbreaking. And you're watching them in their window miss another year of not taking advantage of it due to injuries and stuff like that. Injuries are a killer. Injuries are a killer. And when we go into the baseball, we're going to see some of them get hot. And we go into October, we're going to see some of them get highlighted even more, because a lot of this stuff in any sport is matchups. No matter what it is, it's matchups. So we're going to wrap this Bettorsports episode up too. Make sure you are sharing, liking, commenting, sharing it, word of mouth. Go tell your abuela, your grandpappy, somebody that your boy Mitchie, your boy Jared dropped another episode. Let them know. Thank you.